the corner of the glass right here instead of this nozzle back there. Cool. So now we have everything set up so that it's all zeroed and all fancy and ready. So now, as I come back here, hey, hi, how you doing? You may be wondering, how do we make the laser cutter cut stuff? Well, we turn it on and we turn it off. And we turn it on and we turn it off while it's moving around. Just like you would with a 3D printer. Instead of, we're not oozing out the plastic this time. We're oozing out a laser. And what are we going to cut? So we're not using plastic from the 3D printer. I'm going to move my desk around because I'm gonna stand and talk for a little bit, and I'm actually even going to. Did you hear that? That was the second most annoying sound in the world. We're gonna move, or we're gonna cut stuff. Yeah, let's talk about cutting stuff. I need to cut a film. I need to cut something to cover up this. My circuit boards. So I need to basically cut a stencil. I plan on using a transparency type film to do this for circuit boards. Something permanent, something that I can do over and over and over again. But in the meantime, what I used to use in the Army to cover maps actually will work. This is just a regular sheet or a regular roll of contact paper. Regular roll. I think this came from Target. There we go. I'm gonna trim out some of this, and I'm gonna stick it on a grate or a bed. So we're gonna see this happen in real time. We're gonna hopefully cut a stencil out of this, something I can stick on something. So let's do a little trimming, real quick. Where's my scissors? I got my scissors. So the first step is we want to cut this thing. So I'm gonna cut this in. Let's see, that's a 7-inch. So 7. So we'll go to 16 inches here and cut on that line because the bed is 12 by 12, 9 by 12-ish. So there we go. I'm trying to cut a straight line while I'm just standing here. Just gonna wing it. Yeah, good enough, right? It's close. I didn't need that anyway, right? We'll just put that over here. Now I've got this sheet. I need to trim this sheet down a little bit. This is. Let's find the middle. We'll find the middle by folding it in half. That's super scientific. I know. I realize this. I'm getting way above my my pay grade at this point. So let's check it out. I'm gonna do one better than the scissors this time. My trusty X-Acto knife. Not so trusty right meow. How are you? There we go. Ba, 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 ba. Cut. It's cut. So we're gonna take one of these and we're gonna basically pin it down. I'm realizing now that I'm standing, I should probably move some stuff around. How about we do that? Yes! Hey, hi, how you doing? What's up? Now I can kind of, I can almost see the camera right there in my eyesight. So we've got this sheet of what is it called? Contact paper. I'm looking right at the word. I get so stuck on words frequently. I used to ask my doc when I was in therapy for PTSD after the army. I used to ask my doctors if this was aphasia or if it was just me, or if I was, early onset Alzheimer's or dementia or something like that. That one didn't work because I was like 33 at the time, I think, something like that. And aphasia led to a long conversation with doctors about the fact that the memory issues that we face as veterans, or any, actually I'm going to take that back. The memory issues you face as a trauma survivor, whether you're a veteran or not, it does not matter. It's PTSD Awareness Month, so I'm gonna get on my soapbox for just a minute if anybody catches this. But trauma survivors in general have memory problems and memory issues, and a lot of it comes from the fact that the way I understand it as an engineer, the doctors, psychiatrists, psychologists explain it to me that your brain does some heavy lifting trying to protect you from some of these memories. So sometimes it files things away in the wrong spot, or it files it away and doesn't tell you where it filed it. Basically, let's put that on a different set of books, and we'll put it back here in the back, and let's just lock that closet door. That's for special storage. So where aphasia is a different mechanism in the brain, basically. It's not that the memories are hidden. It's that there's a like the words, the memories of words are not hidden for people with aphasia. It's a mechanical, can't make the transition, from your inner monologue to the voice box, for lack of medical terms. I'm trying not to get too technical, but that is not the same issue that comes from trauma, where you are this part in here is literally struggling to find the memory because your brain hid it away from you because it doesn't want to remember it. It's a hallmark of trauma and PTSD, and it's called avoidance, and for go figure. Yeah, so yeah, we as trauma survivors in general, whether you it was combat or a car accident or a volcano, it does not matter. Your trauma, it was real if it threatened your life, or you perceived it to threaten your life. That's the important part. That's the you have to check that box to have experienced a trauma that could cause post-traumatic stress disorder. But while I was chatting, I was rolling this up so that it was kind of flat because we need it flat. I'm gonna show you in just a minute, but we need this kind of flat. We need this to sit on something. So most laser cutters, like an industrial laser cutter, has a grid, like a honeycomb or something that you put that is raised off the surface, because the laser can cut through stuff, especially an industrial laser that's like 200 watts. That it will slice through wood and all kinds of other stuff. So you will frequently find a laser cutter bed, not to be glass like my 3D printer here, but to be made out of some kind of metal platform. And I have a solution for that also. But first, I want to get into. Let's go back to the laser cutter and let's check this out. So we're gonna cut this sheet of contact paper. Is my screen flipped? I'm just now noticing that. Hey, look at that. Okay. Nope. Contact paper. There it is. Okay, it's not flipped. I was just holding it upside down. So we've got this sheet of contact paper, and that's what we're going to cut with the laser cutter. This is my ultimate test. If I can cut this sheet of contact paper, then I can definitely cut the film that I want to use. That'll be more permanent. It'll be like a permanent stencil. And where if I were to use this on a copper board, I probably only get 1 or 2 uses out of it, because I'm going to peel it on and off. It's going to lose its tackiness and adhesion and that kind of stuff. So it's cool to cut it, and it's cool to use it for now, but it's not a permanent solution for me. So it's a good test object though, since I have it here, and I don't know where the film that I'm going to use is. But this is the part. This is going to be our test today. So we went through setting up the laser. I got the laser mounted. I got the laser plugged in. The laser it works. We've fired it up before on a previous stream. We're gonna try to cut this today, and I'm gonna switch back to the other screen. We're gonna get this set down because I think I need to tape this in some way to fasten it down, because I started trying to roll it out and it's just not gonna lay flat, I think. So how about we stop with the big screen of me, and instead we go back to the laser cutter or back to the 3D printer, and we check out the mount and how we're going to cut this. So let me mash some buttons here. I'm going to get loud again. Rah! All right, so here we are. We're back here. I think I mentioned most 3D printers have a glass bed like this. This is my CR10 Mini has a glass bed. That's what you print on. Most laser cutters have this big platform raised up so that you can cut through your material without cutting through the glass bed or whatever's under it. In this case, it's a sheet of aluminum under here that heats up with a heating element, so that my stuff sticks to it, so that my 3D prints stick to it. So let's set this down right there. That actually might work for what we want to do. There, ta-da! Right? But we want to situate it like this, and we want to kind of zero it on our laser. So our laser we set up here. We lifted it up 50. We lifted our laser up 50 millimeters, and we shifted our our bed forward 50 millimeters to line up the laser diode instead of the printer nozzle. So the laser diode is set at 0 at this point, and it's at a set fixed height above the glass, where this is not, because I have these clips right here. So these clips are kind of in the way, but I have a solution for all of this. So I'm going to pull this back. I happen to read somebody else doing this on a homemade laser cutters. This is a mesh, a metal mesh, and it's set up higher, and this may affect me. This will be the first time I've used this mesh. But we're going to set this down like that. And we're going to try to cut this just like that. So I'm going to come back to the big screen here, because I think I have an extra piece of that mesh sitting around. Ooh, 1 second. I do have an extra piece of that mesh sitting around. Let me grab it so I can explain it. Hey, hi, how you doing? So, so this is the mesh that I just sat down. What it came from was a kitchen store. I can't remember which kitchen store. It might have even been an Amazon kitchen store, or like the Walmart. I forget where, but it's for a toaster oven. It's for a toaster oven. It's for a toaster oven. It actually fits a half sheet, half baking sheet. So I got them because it was a 2-pack, and it fits on a full baking sheet, so you can like bake cookies or whatever the case may be on it. It's got this raised notch here, but it's got the grid, the metal grid, just like I mentioned, and in previous streams, last month when before my little stream break, I took some screenshots, and we went through a Google search, and I showed 3D, not 3D, laser cutters. Laser cutters often have a raised bed that is held up by metal like mesh. Most of the time it looks like a honeycomb or a grid like this, but it's raised up so that the laser can cut through the whatever you put on it without cutting through everything under it. And the laser is not strong enough to cut this metal right here. It's not strong enough to cut this mesh, but it is strong enough to cut the contact paper we just put down. So the goal here now is we've set up the laser. Let me put this down. We set up the laser cutter. So the laser cutter's set up, and the one thing we haven't done yet is zero the laser to that height. What I just did by adding that grill rack is raised the height of the thing I want to cut by about 10 centimeters. So I might have to raise the laser up another 10 centimeters if you were paying attention earlier, if you caught any of that, I raised it to a standard height of 50 millimeters so that I can adjust the focus of the laser so that it actually like is strongest when it hits the contact paper or the bed of my printer. So I may need to adjust that. If you saw me do it earlier, it literally took 10 seconds. It's not that big a deal to adjust it. And 10 millimeters is about the height of that part. I think it's about 15 millimeters. I think it was something like 3/4 of an inch or something. So it's probably close to 15 millimeters off the top of my head. I'm not going to do all the math right now. It's Thursday night, and it's already like 7:15 here in New York City. I'm kind of like checked out for math. It's not my bag, baby. To quote Austin Powers. But so the next part is now we need a file to print or cut. Just like a 3D printer prints your 3D models, a laser cutter, it needs a file to cut, basically to trace, and it's going to trace a two-dimensional pattern, but it's still a similar kind of file. It's called a vector file, so we can't just use any old picture. Or can we? Ooh. So let's break out some software, and let's switch to a different screen. And we're gonna do the. I wanna like share my screens and things. We need to trace a shape, so we need to make something. So I need to draw a picture of something I want to cut. Excuse me. And then we need to figure out how to cut it. All right. So let's do this. Let's get it. Are we ready for this? I'm gonna share. I think this is the only scene I haven't checked yet. Oh, snap. Yes. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so I need to draw a picture. Actually, let me share the next screen. So this is the software that comes from the people, my 3D printer people. It's called the Creality Workshop. I don't know if you probably, you can't see the whole thing up there. But anyway, what you can't see is the menu. Let me see if I can oh, I can't. It's cut off. Okay. So you can see the workspace. You can see the workspace on that thing right there, but you can't see the whole application. But that's cool. It's fine. I promise it's all right. This is the goods that you want to see anyway. So we can actually control the whole printer and everything from this software. So we come back to me for a minute. We can control the whole printer from this software. It's set up so that you can connect over a USB. Ooh, I got some notifications. I gotta get rid of that one. So so I can actually send commands and send like tell the printer to go do stuff, and that part's kind of cool. But we can add a file, add a picture to this set of software, and we will convert it into something called G-code, which is the commands that say shoot the laser, and while you're shooting the laser, go to point XY. And that's basically how it works. So this software here will be what kind of like converts our picture into a bunch of numbers for us. And that means, so if I'm going to mash some buttons here just to check. It's looking for it only wants a JPEG file. So we need to make a JPEG file. So I'm going to come back. We're going to come back here. We're going to go make a JPEG file. I'm actually going to do that in, where are we? Dun, 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 dun. I'm going to do that right here in Google Slides. So I'm going to open up a new file, a new blank file in Google Slides, because this is super fast. No, I don't want themes. We want a blank Google file. And let's make a shape. Let's make some shapes. Let's that is exactly what we want right there. I want a big, goofy, smiley face. Oh no, but it's got colors and stuff. I don't want it to have colors. I don't want it to have a fill color. No fill color. There we go. Cool. Can we do border? Can we change the border lines with it? Yes, this is exactly what I want right there. So let's make this really thick and cut that out like that. Excellent, excellent. Actually, no. Let's do it super thin, just like that, because we just want to cut. We just want to cut stuff. Actually, let's not make the smiley face like this. Let's do the circle. And no shade. And let's do other circles for the eyes. We're going to copy and paste. How's that look so far? Not bad. And we're going to do a... Can we find a crescent in here? Is there a crescent shape? There it is right there. A moon shape. And we will rotate it 90 degrees, or 270 in their case. We're going to make it transparent also, and we're going to drag it right into the middle, just like that. There is our shape. Dun da da da. So I can export this as a PNG, right? I can download it as a JPEG right there. Oh wow, you can do a SVG as in Google Slides. Oh, I did not know that. That is amazing. Okay, well, super. So we've got this we're going to download a JPEG. Bum, ba, ba, ba. So we've now downloaded our JPEG. We've done this right there, JPEG. Ta-da! Now what we're going to do is we're going to drop this in that software that I just shared with you. So here we go. Are you ready for this? Are you ready for this? Who's ready for this? I'm going to try to drop it straight in. I don't know if a drag and drop is going to work, but we're going to do it. We're going to try it. Drag and drop will not work. So I'm going to have to open from downloads right there. Oh yes. Now you can't see it, but I get an option. Oh wait, or can you see it? No, you can't see it. So right now I opened that file, and I have this option to kind of like pick the darkness, pick how like dark the lines are and how thick the lines are. So that's what I'm doing right now. I don't like the idea that I'm kind of just ditching you. But yeah, so there we go. I can change all of this to make it darker or lighter. I'm gonna land on 220 right there. Poof. Let's see how it looks. There we go. There it is. So that's our line. That's our thing. I need to move this though, because it's not. It's very close to the edge of the bed. So you can see it there. It's there, and it's out there. But we need to move it something like that, so that it's not so close to the corners, so that it's kind of like off to the side. Because if you remember, if you look here at the thing, and I come back, this should start printing right here. So we want to move this laser over here to the middle. So honestly, we kind of want the laser over there. So I'm going to move this. Let's come back here. I'm going to move this actually right to the middle, kind of like that. 200 by 300. That's pretty close to the middle, huh? For my printer. That's how we're gonna do it. That's how we're gonna go. I'm psyched about this. Are we ready? Are we ready for this? I don't know that we're ready for this. I am going to first. I'm going to check the export codes. I don't know if you can see. Yeah, you can see this from your view. I'm going to check on export settings. The laser on command, the laser off command, CNC travel, CNC print Z. So this is the laser speed, 20 millimeters per second. the travel speed, which is the speed that the printhead is moving when the laser is not firing, is 60 millimeters per second. The CNC commands we can ignore. We're not using the CNC part. We're using the laser part. So we have a box checked for laser. And that means the laser on and off command is 106 and 107. Excellent. So, I think we're ready to go. I think I can just export this G-code right here. I'm going to export the G-code. You can't see the thing right now, but I'm going back to my, I'm going to drop it on my desktop. We're going to call it Smiley. Happy Laser? Well, let's call it Happy Laser. Export is finished. You don't see that box either. Okay, no. Okay, so now I want to open the G-code and check on it. So I've done this in the past with a file, and what I didn't realize was the G-code tells my printer to go back to like home. So it smashed the laser down into the glass bed, and then the laser was like firing everywhere. I was afraid I was going to lose an eye, so it got crazy and unsafe and not something I want to do. I do not have goggles on. I do not have like all the safety set up. I'm an engineer, but I was also in the Army. I'm not smart. I'm not. Well, we'll leave it there. But yeah. So a step in the right direction is actually taking this G code, and that might be the only thing I don't have ready for you is sharing the G code. So let me see how I'm going to do that. I'm going to shrink up Google Slides. Let's open up my Happy Laser code. I'm going to open it with Code, which is Visual Studio Code, which opens my thing. And I'm going to show you the G code right now. So let me see if I can change my stream. Give me 1 second here. So let's see. Can I share? I cannot share. There we go. Oh, yep. Excellent. Yes. There it is. Well, that's kind of big. All right, check it out. So that's G code right there. Whoop-de-doo, big deal. But I'm gonna zoom in on it for you. I'm gonna see if I can get the view to go massive. Zoom in. Did I see the button? Is that the right button? Yeah, there we go. Okay, cool. So that is G code right there. This part, this word right here, these G numbers and these M numbers are actually commands. And if you remember correctly, these are commands that I set in the other software. So I just want to make sure that there isn't this crazy command that tells it to go home. So I'm gonna quickly Google G code G90. No Google. My Google phone thinks I'm talking to it. Why? 1 second. While I unjack myself. I'm gonna G code G90 for a code. Sets G90 sets the oh well, I can just show you. So there's the instructions. You see the first bit of code was G90, and G9. If you read Google right here, G code G90 sets my coordinate system, the XY things, to absolute position instead of relative. It doesn't go like you can read more about it if you want. I'm not going to dwell on it too much. We're going to get out of our little smiley face here. Check it out. And we're gonna drop this, lose it. So G code looks like it goes straight into cutting stuff, right? Yeah, I dig it. Oh, but there is a problem. I see one problem right here, right here. Z1. All of those are set to a height of Z1, and that's not good. So I need to change Z1. We're going to change Z1 to Z60 everywhere. So I'm going to zoom out. I think that's the right size. But I'm going to go with find. Z1. Z1 is shown 500 times here. We're going to replace Z1 with Z60.0 everywhere. And we're going to replace all. Boom. So now my code is all set. It stays at Z60 everywhere. All the way down. And these are all commands. So it goes in a circle here, it looks like. And then it turns off the laser. And then it goes into some other shape. And another shape, and another shape, and another shape. And it's got about 5 shapes. Very, very cool. All right. Oh, and there's another Z right there. So Z6 is, we will leave it at Z60. Z60. So we'll add another Z60 right there, and we will save that. Okay, so we've got this file saved. Oh, and I just closed it out so you can't see it. Poof. Okay, so back to me. So how do we get this to the printer? I mentioned earlier that the software that we made a little smiley face in could actually control the printer. I don't have that set up right now. That might be a future thing, but that's not a software that I use frequently. I honestly don't. I'm not like a fan of it. This isn't something I plan on doing a lot, so I don't have that set up. My plan is to make these stencils as needed, not too frequently. So I have a print server that I would actually like do this from. I would drag and drop it onto a web browser that controls my printer. That is all. I'm using that for the camera right now. So that camera right there is actually the print server. It's my old phone. It's an old Pixel phone. It's set up to be my webcam, but also it's set up to run my printer with an app called Octoprint. So here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna oh, I'm gonna grab an SD card. So this printer has a little tiny card, and this is how you get your files back and forth. So right now that file that we were editing is actually in the on my desktop in my computer. So I'm gonna slip this in a slot on my computer. We're going to move it over here. We're going to put this in the printer, and then we're going to have it go. And that is going to be the cool part. I hope this works. So remember I set the print height, the Z height, to 50. So that laser is 50 centimeters off the glass. I raised it up in the code an extra 10 centimeters, so it's up at 60. So I think that solves my problem for my my laser height, and I will probably do some testing later to align the laser so that it cuts fine for circuit boards and things. But this is my first test of printing from a file and printing a shape and printing a clear cut. So we're gonna do that, and we're gonna make this work. I'm also gonna do some things I'm gonna lay some stuff down on the actual print surface to make it flat and to make it so that, I mean, it's paper, it's contact paper, so there's a chance it could get, while it's moving and sliding, it could like lift up with air pressure. So we're gonna set some things on it, and this is it. This is pretty much like the big finale, the big test right here. We have the file, We have the laser set up. We have the material we're going to cut. Let's get into it. I'm so psyched. And I'm so psyched that I forgot to move my scene. Here we go. So I mentioned I'm going to put some stuff down on this. I'm going to weigh some things down to make sure this doesn't slide everywhere and go like crazy places. So what we're going to do is we're going to set these. I have these strips everywhere. These are actually things I print, insoles that I print, and this is the crazy material that comes out of it. So we're gonna drop a couple of these down. In fact, what I should do is tape right here down. I should tape right here down, just to make sure that it does not go anywhere. So maybe we will do that. Maybe I will grab a quick piece of tape, possibly electrical tape, instead of this, and we will tape a part of that down. So give me 1 quick second while I grab a short roll of electrical tape. So I pick electrical tape. Here's a thin roll of electrical tape, and I pick the electrical tape because it releases easy. It's not very tacky, like long term. It's very flexible. Not only does it stretch a little bit like this, but it doesn't stay, like the tackiness is very easy to remove, and it's not damaging to the material. So we're going to tape this crazy thing just like that, and we're going to take another piece of it, and we're going to tape the other end like that. Are we ready? Okay, so now this is pretty flat right here. This is actually flat, and I could probably cut the things I want to cut. So we are ready. We have the SD card in here, over here. It slipped right in here, and we have the file, and I'll mash some buttons over here. Let me turn this screen a little bit more so you can see. And there's over there in the distance is my other printer set up, but there's a screen right here. There's a screen right here that I'm waving my fingers at. I will pick the file. I don't think you can see the file. Interesting. Oh, I didn't transfer the file yet. That's what we gotta do. We gotta transfer the file. Duh. So you kind of saw the laser fire. I was wondering why it's firing. That is a little weird, right? That seems to be something with the motherboard of the 3D printer, where it triggers a signal to the fan controller. Interesting, right? Yeah. Okay, so I am actually right now moving some boxes and windows around so that I can get to my file, which is called Happy Laser, right? So I just dropped Happy Laser in that SD card. I am ejecting it because I did not see it in the thing, the menu. And then I'm gonna change stuff right here. So I'm gonna come back. I'm gonna come over here when I print, and I'm gonna make myself scarce because I don't want the laser to blind me. And there's a laptop between me and the laser. So if I'm over here, I'm safe. If I'm over there, there's a chance the laser shoots my eyes and I'm blind and stuff. And I don't know. Not cool. Not with me. So I'm gonna swap out the SD card. Here we go. Are we ready? Let's get it. Put the SD card in. I'm going to print from SD card. Refresh. I see Happy Laser. Okay. So right now, I'm going to do some things. I'm going to get rid of my little overlay. Because I want to take some video of this. This is actually really cool. Is that it? No? Webcam, way down there. Wow. Okay. So, there it is. There's the setup of the night. This is what I spent the last hour on, right? Yeah. So let's do this. Let's see what happens. Let's. Ah, psyched! I'm a big meathead sometimes, and this is gonna be fun. This is gonna be cool. Let me clear some things off of here. I have the glasses around. I just don't know where they are. Shh. I'm like a terrible engineer when it comes to safety, and I do not recommend this. Don't do this at home. If you have the glasses, wear them. Obviously, this is a laser that, even though it's a low-powered laser, it's like a 2-watt laser or a half-watt laser or something like that. It's still enough. You could lose your sight. You could lose an eye. So this is my safety brief. If any of you have been in the military and you've experienced that guy, there's a reason why you have a safety brief, and I am that guy today. I'm the reason you will get a longer safety brief next time. But in my defense, here I am. I'm taking every reasonable measure to protect myself, aside from the glasses that I don't know where they are. And I think at this point we're ready to rock and roll. This laser should cut a smiley face for us, and I should be able to bring it back and show you. I'm pumped. I'm psyched. Are we ready? What I didn't talk about is power. I set the laser for full power the whole time. The laser can actually step power up and down, so it doesn't need to use all the power. What does that mean? Actually, I'll come back and talk about it in a minute. Yeah, let's just do it. I'm done talking. Let's cut stuff. Arrgh. Poof. Here we go. Well, that didn't work out as planned. Obviously not. No. So, I don't know if anybody was watching. What happened? The print went super massive. It went super big. So I don't really know what happened. Let's go back and take a peek at the file. Let's open up that this thing right here. Did we make that too big? This went like all off the screen, right? Oh, 300. I set this at 300. Okay, so we can shrink this down, and it's massive, right? So it's my print bed is 200 by 300. So first we need it to be like here. Second, this is massive. We need this to be like half the size. So we need to be 100 by what's half of that? To 109. 109 and 100, like that. Okay, all right. So it's scaled it for us. So I want this to print in the middle of the bed. So I butchered that whole thing, right? So let's go back. I failed to realize what you can't see, what I can't show you here is, maybe I can, is there a way for me to grab this here? My print bed goes to 300 millimeters, which is here. to 200 millimeters, which is here. And I actually set this over here, and I made this giant. So we need to put this in the middle, let's say the middle of my printer. So we will go there. And that looks to be right about the middle. And that should print on our sheet, on our deal now. So I'm going to export my G code again. Oh, I'm also going to set the laser. Oh, the laser is set to the highest setting, so it should cut through it right away. And even though I had it set up, it was not cutting through this material. And part of that might be because I have it upside down. I don't feel the cut through it. So we may need to set this print up and run it more than once. But overall, it did work. What I will say is the laser cutter came over here to the end, and it should have cut through here somewhere, but it did not cut through here somewhere. So that may need to be adjusted to a better height. And I think what we'll do is actually test this. We'll take the tape off. Take the grid off. And we need to auto home now again. So the laser knows where it is. And now it's going back down. So what I'm going to do to correct this is we've just changed the file on the other screen. Now I was gonna wait to do this, but we're just gonna do it tonight. So we're gonna zero in this laser and find out. You're gonna see it smoking, and you're gonna see it like things like happening, and it's gonna be weird, right? But we're gonna do it, and I'm gonna do it over there. So I'm gonna be off the screen for a little bit. You're just gonna see me talking with the lasers and things. The laser is zeroed. I need to lift it up. Now. Let's go to 60 mil. Let's go to 50 millimeters. Because 50 was what I had set in my head. So we're going to lift it. Actually, we'll lift it to 60. So there it goes. It's raising up to 60 millimeters. And while it's raising to 60 millimeters, I'm going to export my code again. Happy laser already exists. We're going to replace it. Poof. I'm going to open up happy code, happy laser. We're going to change every Z code again. To 60. All of them. We're going to go to the bottom, like I did earlier. Oh, cool. Okay, so everything is set. Everything is set now to 60. So this file is set. I'm going to drag it back onto my removable drive. We're going to eject it. Poof, eject. I'm going back over to the laser now. So what we're going to do now is I'm going to take a little break because I go to the bathroom. I'm going to come back. And what we're going to do is we're going to set up the laser so that we're going to turn the laser on, and and we're gonna wait to see the smoke coming out of it, and we're gonna try to adjust the focus of the laser so that it is on the part. And then so I'm going to move the laser while it's happening, and this is going to be the crazy part. So we're going to move the bed, I think. But let me go to the bathroom, which means I'm going to play a video for anybody who's not familiar with the program that we run on the weekends. And here in New York City, it's called Battle of the Bots. I dig it. I love it. It's kind of fun. We have a bunch of robots and fight robots. And you're welcome to join us. You're welcome to come back. I'm gonna take a quick potty break. I might even grab a drink because I think it's like a 2-minute video. But I'm going to share a highlight reel from Battle of the Bots, and you're going to be able to check it out, and you're going to be able to say, "Cool, that's cool." But let me play that now. So I'll be back in a second. Actually, let me do the 2-minute Clever video from our sponsor, Clever. Be right back. Excellent timing. Super. I just poured a glass of soda water and a splash of cranberry juice. It's a weeknight. Nothing crazy. Nothing crazy. Just a weeknight. All right. So so I need to be able to adjust the laser while the stuff is moving under it. So I need the laser to hold still while I'm doing this. So I think what I need to do, the plan should be, I'm going to turn the laser on. I'm going to turn the fan on so the laser is on and like cooking. I'm going to have it lined up so that it's off to the side of the paper. But I'm going to have it so that the bed is sliding back and forth so that I can see it slicing the paper. And when I do that, I can turn the nozzle and have that happen. So I'm sharing all this now because I just don't have the camera space to be able to have my hands in there. And if I did have the camera space to back up, things would be so small that you couldn't see it. So the way that I'm going to solve this is by explaining the process here. I'm going to go over there. I'm even going to turn the microphone around so that I can kind of chat with you, but probably for the next like 5 or 10 minutes, we're going to go over to the laser and we're going to calibrate. We're going to zero the actual laser to 60 millimeters height. And then we're going to grab that SD card. And we're cooking with gas. I'm ready to rock and roll. So let me turn the mic is actually right here. I'm going to turn it around the other way, so the other side, so you can hear me a little better. But here we go. Me is disappearing for a little bit. Excuse me. After I grab another glass of water. This is the non-math edition of engineering. Okay, so here we go. Poof, we're back. Let me turn this around. Let me turn the mic around a little bit. Cool. Grab some stuff and hang them back up out of the way before I start falling on stuff. So, here we are. Here's the printer. So we have this at 60 millimeters height already. I am going to grab the SD card from my desktop, which is actually right under the printer. So here's my SD card. The SD card's going in this groove right here. If you can kind of see that. This is where the file is, Happy Laser. And I am just a hot mess here at the wrong angle. So we have this Z set up at 60 millimeters. I'm going to grab my rack again. I said rack. I'm going to pull the tape aside. I'm actually going to take this paper off because I taped the paper down with the backing facing up. And I want to cut through the actual adhesive. So we're going to flip that around. So first I'm going to drop down my grill. I'm going to lift this tape up right here and pull that back. So we're going to tape this down. We'll tape it down this way, just like that. And I kind of want this right in the middle. So here we go. So now we've got stuff taped down a bit. Super. I should probably grab more tape and tape down the edges because you can see it curling up. So if you can see that curling up, it's going to cause me to be upset and flustered. So I'm going to grab a little extra tape. I'm actually going to tape it down in the corners like that, very loosely, just enough so that it's like there. I mentioned I'm using the electrical tape because I kind of want to do that number right there. So what I want to do now is move the z-axis. I mean the y-axis. I'm going to move the y-axis back 50. So now the laser is at the corner of the bed here. I want to test the height. So I'm going to move the x-axis all the way over to U. So let's move the x-axis. If I can move it in 10 millimeter increments. So let's move it to, say, 200. $200 is right there. We'll go to 240. Looks to be a good spot. And I'm going to move the y-axis now because it'll be right here on the... Actually, let's go with... let's move the y-axis 70, like that. Okay, so excellent. All right. So I need to control. I need to turn the fan on is what I need to do. And I don't have that option here in this screen. So I need to control and mash into the control button. Interesting. Oh, fan speed. I found fan speed. So we're going to crank up the fan speed. So this should be about 50 millimeters from the grate here now. So we're going to crank up the fan speed. And what you're going to see now is the laser is going to come on at right about now. Oh, maybe not. Alright, maybe when I mash the button here. Yep, laser's on. You can see it should be cutting right there, but it's not really cutting. So I'm gonna adjust the laser. There we go. So now you can kind of see it burning. And now I'm going to go back and I'm going to move axis, move y axis. I'm going to move it 10 millimeters. And it's not really cutting. Better. 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 So I've moved this pretty far, and it's not in the clockwise direction. Right there is just not even cutting the hole. So I'm pretty sure I've gone way too far. That took way too long to cut that. That was a little bit better right there. So you can't see the marks, but I will show them in just a second. But now I'm getting very, very close. I think I need to back up a little bit here. Like that. That height might be it right there. I think that is probably the best I'm going to do here. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to turn the laser off. which is I'm basically turning the fan speed down. I don't know if the microphone's turned enough so that you can hear it, but when I turn the laser off, the fan also turns off, the cooling fan for the actual filament. There we go. Cool. All right. So let's check this out now. Let me tape this end down here too, just because I set this up to do in the middle, and I don't really want to take any chances here. So I'm going to tape this down. I should actually just tape these down to the grill, like this, when I do this from now on, so that I can pick the whole thing up. But, no, because there's a little bit of flex right there. I don't know if you see the little bit of flex, but there's a little bit of flex right there. Okay. I really should have had those glasses on, huh? Here we go. It is cutting. It is absolutely cutting. I should have put this thing right in the middle. But it is doing not such a bad job of cutting, and it's actually cutting the tape also. So I think we're going to run this a couple times. We might actually have to run this more than once to get it to print, or to get it to cut all the way through. But I'm going to keep trying it. No! That was terrible. Okay. So that was what I was afraid of. And that is where our stream ends. It looks like it went to a homing screen, so I should have worn glasses. The shade, it's kind of like looking at what is that thing? An eclipse. Yeah, all dark and a little bright spot in the middle. The glasses probably would help with that. So I see like the thing there. So a lesson to everybody else. This is obviously temporary. I didn't get shot in the eye with a laser, but this is actually a lesson for everyone. Don't do what I do, and that is the reason why. I don't mind sharing it. But what I will say is there must have been a command at the end of the Happy Laser that made the print head come all the way down. I thought I checked for that, and that's the problem. But this thing cut, so I'm gonna pull the print off. I'm gonna pull the cut off, and let's take a peek at it. I am stuck. I want the whole thing. I want the tape and all. You are not giving me the tape. Sir, give me the tape. Give me the tape. Give me the tape. Okay. Alright, so let's check this out. So, first of all, my print was lined up off to the side. If we still have that, yeah, so we still have that right there. That, I don't know what happened there. That is terrible. And it does not work out the way I expect it to on here. Oh wow! And I smell the burn. I smell like the actual burn. I smell the burn. So that part is kind of crazy. I don't know if you can see this or not, but if you can see the round part here from where the laser started cutting the top material. You can also see it kind of like right there if I move my big meaty hands. So it went around and it did all the cutting, and it looks like it cut some of the tape here too. It did. I think it's still set a little too low, and I don't know which way is up or down, but it seemed to cut the tape just as well. And the tape was down lower because the tape was holding it like that. So it cut up here around like that, right here, and it started burning the tape. That's actually what I smell, is the tape. So that worked pretty well for the most part. Aside from the fact that I clearly need this to go a lot slower. I need this to like crawl as it's cutting. This was cutting at 20 millimeters per second. I think half of that might actually work for this material right here, and that's cool. So I think we got the setup right. I think I got the laser kind of dialed in, so to say. But and you can see over here on the side, the laser was cutting this material. The laser was actually poking holes through it, and you can see where I got it focused pretty good, right? Yeah. I mean, that's not bad right here. Down at the end, to get the little pinhole. But then the laser came crashing down. So there was a part of that code. If I should remember the G code, there was a part of that G code where after it finished, it just decided, let's go down and smash everything. And that just kind of like ruined the fun, because I was going to do this more than once and have it go through a couple rounds and actually have the cut product, which we could do if we like turned on the print more than once. It would keep cutting the same places. Once it hit this thing, it moved it. So there's just no sense in doing that. But I feel really good that this is what I want, what I need to create stencils and cutouts and things for masks for circuit boards, which is a step in the right direction. That's cool, because once I do this, then I can spray some chemicals on a flat board. I can do some other stuff with it, and it's should be cool. It should be fun. But that's about it. That's our laser show for tonight. I'm psyched. I'm probably gonna steal some clips of that and throw it around everywhere, and that'll be our what we talk about for the next week or two. But on a serious note, come back, follow the channel, follow the design team. I'm part of the design team, and I'm also the nonprofit's founder. So it's easy for me to hop in here when we don't have a design team thing going on, because I want to create content. I want to share things with people and show you this is stuff that the design team can do and then can get involved with. Our design team is actually very small right now. It's just a handful of us, and not only do I want you to follow the stream, I encourage veterans to sign up and join and come play with us, because this is the kind of cool stuff that we can do as a group. And Saturday I'll try to break out some robots. I think I scheduled everything this week last minute, as I kind of came back from a stream hiatus. So it may just be me playing with some robots on Saturday, and I'm okay with that too. It should be a good deal with me. I have to adjust our Twitch schedule. I'll do that on Saturday, but before I stream, because I have like 9 jobs, so I'm just kind of juggling stuff, to be honest. And that's about it. That's where I'm kind of gonna end it. I'm gonna finish my glass of water here and my splash of cranberry water here, and call it a night, which is a little weird for me, because a month ago I would just be starting now, and then I'd be exhausted. So it's possible we could set this up. In fact, I have a little extra time. Let's do that. Let's dig into that. I want to see that code. I want to see what happened there. So let me open code. Make it all big. Let me switch some screens around, some views around over here. So Happy Laser. Let's look at the Happy Laser. Right there. Okay, so let's check out Happy Laser. What happened at the end here? Everybody saw the code come crashing down at the very end. Was there a Z something? Z6 right there. I missed the Z6. So it came down to Z6 right there. To do whatever this was at the end. Oh, that is so weird. Oh, there's extra. Oh, extra stuff. How about we cut this all away? I don't know what happened there. It looks like the file. Yeah, it's a duplicate. Somehow it got trimmed. So it should be like that. It should be the code. Interesting. Okay, that's fair. So if we did that, my code probably should have worked. So let me go back to the regular screen here so I don't shoot myself in the foot tomorrow when I'm busy coding. Poof. But so it went down to zero to a height of 6, and that's what jammed it up. Terrible. I'm super tempted to try it again and make this work. I wonder, can we break out that code again? Let's come back to this. I'm going to delete my Happy Laser file because I think it didn't export the code to a new file. I think it exported the code and overwrote the actual text in the file, which is why it looked so crazy. So let's do that. Let's come back to my screen here. We're gonna make this. We're gonna do it again. Where's my view? There it is. So we're gonna make this thing even smaller. We're gonna make this 50, like that. And we're gonna literally put it right in the middle. I'm gonna try my best to grab it like right in the center and line it up in the center like that. And now I'm going to come over here. I'm going to change my CNC speed, my laser speed, to 10 millimeters per second. And we're going to change the... I'm going to change this setting. I don't think it matters much, but CNC print Z is at 1. I'm going to change it to 60. We're going to try that out. I'm going to export code. We're going to call it Happy Laser. Once more. G-code finished. So it might be too small to see on the screen, but in the settings to the side of that screen, I changed the laser cutting speed. I reduced that to half, and then I set the seat of the height of one of the other settings, which shouldn't apply to the laser. It's to the CNC. CNC stands for computer numerically controlled, or cutter numerically controlled. It's just like a 3D printer, but it's got this motor on it instead of a nozzle. I want to try this again. I'm gonna check out the code now. We're gonna look at that code again and see if my code looks correct. So the goal here is that the code looks correct, and it does. It sets it to 60. So you can see now my Z height is 60 in the code. So let's go to the bottom and see what happens. It still goes to 6 right there. That is terrible. So at the very end, it goes to 6. So we're going to change that. We're going to move that to 60. We're going to save this file. That is terrible. That is a terrible flaw in this software, and that's why I don't trust it and why I won't use it frequently. So let's come back. Let's come back to my view here. I am totally. Oh, well, first I'm gonna save this. Oop, save this Happy Laser file. Close it. I'm totally gonna tape this down. Again, and we're gonna try it again. Are we ready? Let's go back. Let's go back to the well for this. Let me grab some scissors, some tape. We're gonna come back and mount the laser again. And really, what I want to do as soon as we're done, I'm gonna mount the laser. I'm gonna actually mark the laser so that I can see the 60. Like on rifles, when you zero your rifle in the military, you mechanically zero an M16 or an M4. It has markings on the sights on both the front and the rear sight and the windage knob, so that you know that mechanical zero is in a specific spot, like turning the windage knob flat and then one notch forward. Excuse me, and the front sight post has the dial that raises flat with the actual surface. Excuse me, and the rear sight post, right and left until you're lined up center to center on that other base. For the old iron sights. But so what I'm going to do here now is fix this so that we have tape everywhere. Cool. So I'm taping up this mat again. We're going to put this thing down again, and we're going to do it. We're going to cut it up. I'm going to Yep, there we go. Cool. Let's try it out. Let's go to it. So the first thing we need to do, as I set this aside, is remount the laser. So I'm going to zero. Or auto home our printer here, our print head. Let me move this up for you a little bit. While that's sliding over or sliding down, I'm gonna you see the magnets grab it. I'm gonna snap this in place just like that. So it should be in the same place all the time now. Oh, I know. I'm off 50 millimeters offset. That's why it looked like it was going off the edge. Okay, I got it. I got you now. So I'm going to remove this part, my SD card. We're going to put the SD card back in. Now that we've got this, I'm going to raise Z up to 60. Cool. We're going to move the Y 60, so it's back on this plate. We're going to move X over 80, just so I have room here to work. We're going to slip this underneath all of this. Don't mind me, just it's going to smash up everything. So what I should do is place this out here further. Like that is really what I should be doing to line this up. Because this is 50 millimeters offset, so I should pull this 50 millimeters this way. I'm not going to do that. I'm gonna get it close to the front though. And we're gonna line it up like that. and stick this tape down in the corners. But I'm only going to attach the tape to the actual edges. There we go. So now we are set. I should trim this piece of tape back, because it is absolutely going to cut that. So let me grab scissors right here. Trim that part off. That will no doubt cause a problem for me here in a minute. Let us get back to our file. Hey, hi, how you doing? I'm going to grab my Happy Laser file, drop it back in my thing here. We're going to replace it, and we're going to eject. And this time, we're going to go back. I'm going to turn on the laser. We're going to make this happen. So it's going to go slower, and it's going to cut a smaller spot. And it should not come down and crush this time. So, given the changes, it might cut the whole thing the first time. If it doesn't, hopefully it will let us run a second time and cut through. So let's check it out. Let's see what happens. Are we ready? Are we really ready for this? I think we are. Of course, the next step for me in doing this is actually setting this up so that I can do the time lapse. I want to do time lapse of this laser, because that's kind of cool, right? Yeah. But a before and after will be also just be as cool, I think. But let's get into it. All right, here we go. I'm going to clear my screen here. We're going to slip the SD card in. I'm going to print from SD card. We're going to print Happy Laser. Are we ready? Let's go. There it is. You can see the smoke. It is going much slower, so it is actually cutting. I can see the cut mark. I can smell the smoke. That is excellent. I think it's actually cutting all the way through this time. Yeah, there are some spots where it's cutting through all the way. That is awesome. And it's doing the double cut. I love it. And it stopped. And I'm going to get a picture really quick. There we go. All right. So let's bring this back. Did it cut? It did not cut all the way through. Let's try one more time. Let's let it go one more time. There we go. So this will be cut number 2, and I'm back a little bit further while it goes. It is I think it may have cut the material all the way through. But not the backing paper. I can see now that this second cut is actually cut through the backing paper in spots. I can't guarantee that it's cut through all the way, but I can see it from here. You can probably see some spots where it's cut through too, especially on the outside edges. Yeah, it's curling up, which might actually impact the shape. Awesome! I am psyched. I'm going to get some more pictures of this. Let's release the tape on the back. Oh yeah, that is perfect. Check it out. So check this out. It cut our smiley face right out of the contact paper. Just like that. Dun 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 dun. So you can see in fact, let's take some tape off and let's take a good look at this. What actually happened here. Then I'm going to take the laser off and I'm going to mark some ticks on it right where it should be, right where you should be able to see the focus. So two passes with the file was enough to cut through this material and the backing paper. I think the first pass may have cut through the part. So there are two layers to this, right? So you can peel the backing paper off. So I think the first pass actually cut through the backing paper. So let's do it this way. So check it out. So we've got all these holes right here on the side, and then we had this which cut right out. So we've got our smiley face. Check it out. We got our smiley face. But over here we had the holes we used to zero it, and the laser cutter actually worked really well with this. So check it out. Yeah, dig it. So now the real question is, can I peel the stencil away? So the mouth part comes out. The mouth part is definitely done. The eye, there's a bit of trim right here because it started collapsing. It started like curling up. So there was an extra cut. And yeah, the eyes are popping out right there, just like that. That is awesome. Very cool. I can use this and stencil things. We're gonna have a lot of fun with this. We are gonna have a lot of fun with this. First, I need to figure out what we're gonna stencil with it. But this is basically the end of my evening, the end of my stream here. 2 hours to make sure that we can use the laser cutter to cut templates. So now I can cut patterns of circuits out on a material just like this, and then use it to cut or to create circuits on a circuit board. After I do that, I can set the circuit board on an iron with a bunch of surface mount parts and heat it up so that the solder melts on it, and I'll have circuit boards, which is super helpful for our design team because we've been building a robot for like a year and a half. We took a break while I designed the actual motherboard, but also I'm prototyping some amplifiers and some sensors. That's what I'm going to say. So I dig this. This is awesome. This is cool. This is a fun step toward making new stuff. It's a cool new feature for our virtual makerspace. Now I'm gonna go hop off here. I might take some pictures this weekend. That was awesome. That was badass. Sorry for the language. Don't hate me. I will see everyone soon. I appreciate anybody and everybody who checked this out and follow our team. They're here when they can make it. I think I'll see you Saturday.